Hello everyone, Rufus Shinra here, and this is a new Raid Shadow Legends video. I hope that all of you are doing well in these pretty trying times, and I'm bringing you some fresh news right out of the oven, so sit tight and let's dive into it. Okay, so first batch of news is something that you probably already heard of at this point, is the 10x chances of pulling specific champions this weekend, coupled with double chances of dropping regeneration artifacts from the finite castle. So I will not go into the detail of the 10x. I will just talk maybe for 5 or 6 seconds about each one of these champions, and then I will move on to the big piece of news. Before delving into these topics, I would really appreciate it if you'd leave a sub and a like. It does help a lot, and we're almost there, so close to get to the 1000 subscribers goal. So, starting maybe with the regeneration set. This is a set that's very useful nowadays, whether it is to build champions that can solo dungeons for you and help you farm food, or against bosses from the Doom Tower. So it basically just allows you to keep regenerating health, especially good for HP based champions or champions with high base HP, and also good for any kind of other champion that you would like to infuse with sustainability while doing hard content. Now that the regeneration gear is done, let's go through the list of champions. So Krisk the Ageless, of course everybody wants him. One of the best champions in the game, if not the single best, most versatile champ. The best teenage mutant ninja turtle to have ever graced a role-playing game. Probably the best champion in the game as far as overall usability. Pretty much number one everywhere you use him. Moving on, Marta. Great champion, one of 3 champions who have counterattack for the full team in this game. She used to compete for #1 spot back in the day when I was still a fledgling raid player with Valkyrie. Now she took a little bit of a backseat with the whole change of the meta and introduction of new champions, but still great champion if you don't have her. Ignatius, irresistible AoE burn, heavy damage on his AoE nuke, and also based on defense. You could use him as a defense-based AoE nuker for arena, or for dungeons, or for Doom Tower. Prondar, Giska the Sigils, Verigold the Malformed, Toragi the Frog. Out of these 4, Toragi is the one that jumps out to me. Not that the other ones are bad, but Toragi is definitely superior to all of them. He can make a clan boss team and push it to very high limits of damage. The second here would be Prondar. It's pretty good. Not someone that you would go out of your way to pull, but can help you in a lot of areas with wave CC and etc. The other 2 are May-ish. I didn't talk about Black Knight. Black Knight is a solid champion. Not an A tier champion or not even a B tier champion, but close to a C plus if tier lists were a thing. And you know, I don't believe in tier lists specifically for this game, but Black Knight a good pull. So in conclusion, will I be pulling for this 10x? I would have been pulling for it. I might even still throw one of my 5 sacred shards towards it, because I don't have Krisk and I don't have Void Shard, so that question is settled. I don't have Marta, I don't have Ignatius, and I don't have Toragi, so getting one of these 3 would be cool for me just to complete my collection. Now, moving on to the second topic, which is, we were told that a new fusion would be coming our way. Wow, so soon. The fusion is called Sigmund the High Shield. It's a Bannerlord champion, magic affinity, defense type, and it's a legendary, of course. This is a new type of fusion. It will be a combination of fragment and classic fusion. We will need to collect fragments to get the epics. Once we have the epics that make up this champion, we will need to level them up and ascend them in the same way that we did before, so that we could fuse them into the legendary. Now, let's check his kit to see if he is worth our attention or not, specifically since he's coming out, I would say pretty soon after finishing the last fusion Rorik. I haven't even summoned my Rorik yet, and they are coming up with a new fusion. What are they thinking about? So yeah, another video reading PDF file. How exciting. Let's let's be serious for a second. So Sigmund Freud the High Shield. Fairer fight. So single enemy attack, no AoE, removes any shield buffs. So it doesn't have any mention here. It doesn't mention accuracy or anything, so he just removes shield buffs. That's what he does. They don't say it's not resistible, so it might be resistance versus accuracy check. We don't know yet. But he could be just removing shield fights. I'd be interested of seeing what this guy does against Brogni. He probably won't be able to remove them, but let's see. Also has a 50% chance of removing one random additional buff. Has 75% chance instead when attacking bosses. Okay, fair enough. Battlefield Beacon attacks all enemies twice. Each hit has a 50% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn, and a 75% chance of placing a 50% decrease attack debuff for 2 turns. So AoE, provoke, probably bookable to 75%, and the decrease attack would probably be bookable to 100% chance. Alright, okay, so good for CC, could have some strong multipliers, we don't know yet, and we do need some better defense-based nukers in this game. So if he was defense-based nuker with the provoke on top, this would be interesting. We don't know yet, let's wait. Third skill, Shield of the Realm. Places a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns equal to 30% of this champion's max HP. He's a defense-based champion whose shields scale off of his HP. That's interesting, okay. Also places a 25% strengthened buff on all allies for 2 turns. Yeah, this combination is pretty strong, actually. If it could book down to 3 turns, he would be usable in Clan Boss, and it will depend on what his base stats are. If he has high HP, this could be significant. So we need to see. Then finally, his passive Equitable. Whenever this champion is attacked, has 20% chance of decreasing the duration of all buffs on the attacker by 1 turn. Has 40% chance instead when attacked by a boss. So yeah, good against bosses. Could work maybe against Scarab boss in the Doom Tower. If he happens to steal one of your buffs, this guy can either decrease the buff duration on hit or remove it straight away with his A1. So does have some potential. Again, the same thing that we say about all these fusions, we need to see his multipliers, because contrary to the Hound that we've had in the last fusion, this guy has an actual AoE with a provoke on top of it. The kit does not automatically sound like a legendary hero kit. I would still think of this more like an epic, a good epic. But hey, this is what we have to deal with. And alright, so this does it for today's video, because I was actually working on a video on a very different topic. Yeah, so this was going to be a very different video where I just mentioned the 10x briefly at the beginning and then show you another game, actually. Awaken Chaos Era here on my BlueStacks. So make sure to stay tuned for the Awaken video, because that's going to be a juicy one. If you like Raid, if you enjoy Raid, I believe that you will definitely enjoy Awaken. This game is doing a lot of things right where Raid got them wrong. It's still in beta, but it's very promising. So yeah, that will be coming up maybe later today, maybe later tomorrow, depending on some time constraints I might have. Okay, that will do it for today's video. Let me know what you think about the 10x. Of course, the 10x is great, but will you be pulling for it? I personally never recommend pulling for 10 chances, because the chances are extremely slim, and unless you are someone whose index collection is completely full and not pulling anything besides dupes, I wouldn't recommend going for it. And even in that case, you would need to be ready to spend some cash and resources to go for the targeted champions. Will I be pulling for it? Now that I know that there is a fusion, I might be holding off to my shards, to my sacred shards specifically, a little bit more. I would definitely love to hold on to as many shards as I could, waiting for the next guaranteed champion event. But a fusion is the next best thing after guaranteed champion events. And again, I cannot tell you exactly whether or not this champion is great. He does look like he has a good kit for progression, for protecting your teams, for CC, and for a little bit of buff stealing, buff manipulation. But we'll need to have more information about him. I'm sure the tier 3 content creators will be dropping videos about him soon from the test server, and we will know exactly how his multipliers work. I might do a reaction video when that comes. So, with that said, thank you very much for dropping by. This is your friendly neighborhood ex-employee Rufus Shinra, signing out.